The new H50 by Arylic has stirred some conflicting opinions, but I'm here to clear the air. Together we'll explore several key aspects of the H50, from design and functionality to performance and value. By the end of this review, you'll have a definitive answer about whether this amp deserves a spot on your radar. Let's get to it. If Arylic is a new name to you, allow me to introduce them. I've had the pleasure of reviewing one of their amplifiers before, and I must say it left a positive impression. In fact, they reached out to me back when I was just starting this channel, back when they were focusing solely on amp boards. Time has passed, and Arylic has evolved, leading us to today's subject, the H50. A device many have been calling a Swiss Army knife of amplifiers. Now, what's exciting about the H50 is the rich array of features they've packed into it, but let's not overlook the $400 price tag.
That's expensive.
It's a significant investment, and I'm sure you'll agree, $400 is not small potatoes. That's why today we're going to dive into every aspect of this amplifier. We'll see if it truly impresses across the board, because without offering real value, I cannot, in all honesty, recommend it to anyone. So let's uncover what the H50 is all about. A device with this type of price tag needs to look as good as it performs. Let's start with the unboxing experience, something I always pay close attention to. The H50's presentation did not disappoint. Arriving properly packaged, the unit reveals itself with an upscale flair that not all manufacturers take the time to consider. Believe me, in my world, packaging matters. As I often say, you only get one chance to make that all-important first impression, and it's a mantra I've held for many years. Arylic seems to get this, setting themselves apart from the crowd. Other manufacturers take note. This is how, at the bare minimum, you introduce your product to the world. Now let's take a closer look at the unit itself. At first glance, it's noticeably larger than its predecessors. It's not small, but this is Arylic's flagship amplifier, so the extra size, that's more space for all the impressive tech they've packed inside, and it's definitely not a drawback. Included with the amplifier is a remote control, but I must admit, it feels a bit plasticky, cheapy, you know? So I would have preferred something with a more premium feel. And a quick tip for manufacturers: include batteries, please. There's nothing more frustrating than scrambling for those elusive AAAs, especially when a couple of cheap ones would have done the trick. It's a simple gesture that can really enhance the user experience. Also in the box, you'll find a generic 24-volt power supply. Now, I can't say exactly how much noise this may introduce into the system, as I'm not planning on measuring the amp in that regard, but I'll always encourage you to consider upgrading generic power supplies for the best results. So, onto the unit itself. It feels solid, with a bit of weight to it. You'll find a handy toggle switch for power and a volume knob at the front. The knob could be smoother, but it's a nice touch all the same. Then there's the 2¼ inch OLED front screen, big, basic, and doing exactly what it's supposed to, identifying sources and displaying settings. One area that caught my attention, and not in a good way, are the little feet at the bottom of the unit. They're small, they lack grip, and I must say they seem to offer no value in minimizing unnecessary vibration. This is a spot where Arylic could have truly stood out by implementing a simple yet effective upgrade to better feet. Now, I recognize that this may sound overly critical. After all, we're talking about feet on an amplifier, right? But in my experience, the devil is in the details. Even the smallest features can make a world of difference in the overall experience and performance of a product. In a nutshell, the H50 offers a blend of robust design with some areas that might benefit from a touch more refinement. It's these small details that can make a good product great. But enough about the physical aspects, let's dive into what this amplifier can really do. Arylic has paired the H50 with the 4Stream app, readily available on all your app stores. Now, I won't sugarcoat it, I'm not the app's biggest fan, but it's functional and easy to navigate, so you can configure most of the settings right there in the app. This approach isn't unique to Arylic. Many manufacturers build on existing user interfaces rather than designing their own. It's one less thing to worry about, I suppose, to each their own. Now, let's flip this unit around and take a look at the back, and prepare yourself. It's freaking crazy back here. I'm not sure they could have crammed more shit back here, you know? Immediately you'll notice the 2 antennas for Bluetooth and Wi-Fi connections. Then there's a pair of 5-way binding posts. They feel a little janky, kind of cheapy, but these are standard in products like these, so no surprises there. The Phono Input with the ground is a cool addition, letting vinyl enthusiasts utilize the unit's phono stage. And for those of you coming from an analog source or DAC, you've got RCA inputs at your disposal. A sub-out is also there, so you can add delicious bass to your system, a necessity since many speakers these days hover around the 30 to 40 hertz range. As for digital connections, this amp is well stocked with a USB-A, Usbc, and optical inputs. The HDMI ARC though, guys, lets you link your TV directly to the amplifier, which is a very cool feature, allowing your movies and shows to flow through this device. And last but not least, a LAN input is there in case you want to hardwire this unit into your router for a rock-solid connection.
That was weird.
Here's a feature that piqued my interest. A switch in the back, right here, specifically designed for 8 ohm and 4 ohm speakers. Now, this isn't something you run into every day, and it's more than just a curious addition. Depending on the speakers you're using, you can simply flip the switch to match the impedance. It's a thoughtful detail recognizing the diverse range of speaker setups out there, and providing a way to tailor the amplifier to your specific system. All in all, the H50's back panel is a treasure trove of features, a testament to Arylic's dedication to offering a comprehensive package. Whether these details hit the mark for you will, of course, depend on your specific needs and preferences. As many of you who watch this channel know, this doesn't mean diddly dick unless this amp can deliver. Let's see what these 50 watts per channel can do. So I'm not trying to blow this amp into oblivion, so I decided against pairing it with my Infinity Kappa 8s. However, I do have a fresh pair of Klipsch RP600M2s that were just begging to take this amp for a spin. Klipsch speakers, for the most part, are easy to drive, and being that this amp only has 50 watts to work with, I felt it was a good pairing. I synced the amp to my internet, logged into my Qobuz account, and I have to say I was pleasantly surprised. Even at louder volumes, this amp held its own without falling completely apart. The soundstage was, I'd say, decent. The bass and treble were neutral, and the remote even has the ability to do slight tone control, which I had a bit of fun playing around with. Now, to my ears, the sound did come across a tad hollow and cold, but it's not bad by any stretch of the imagination. So when I stumbled upon some rather incendiary opinions from other reviewers, I was actually quite surprised. This amp was barbecued by some, but honestly, it's not a bad piece of equipment. It delivers on its promises. The real question, though, is value. Is the H50 worth the $400 price tag? In my view, not quite. Had this unit been introduced at a more approachable, $250, $299 price point, it would sit comfortably in the good value category. But at $400, we start venturing into territory where other options from competing manufacturers might not only sound, but also look better. It's not about trashing the H50, it's about finding the right place in the market where it can truly shine. Arylic has made some great products, and I feel they will continue to grow and evolve. This unit was a step in the right direction. However, moving forward, I would consider redesigning a few things in the internals to make it sound a bit smoother, perhaps making it prettier, and I would definitely reconsider the price point. I want to thank you all for watching this video. I have a lot of fun reviews coming up that I think you will all love. If you enjoyed this video and got something from it, I would love for you to reveal your secret identity to the like button.
Bruce?
Subscribe to the channel to help me grow, and ring the bell to get notified every time a new video is born. With all that said and done, I will see you on the next one. Take care, my friends.